Welcome back to Dormant Geography, where we explain geography topics to folks falling asleep. Section 1. Gentle Arrival, Drifting into Earth's Quiet Protection. Take a slow breath in and let it go. There is nowhere you need to be right now. Nothing you need to do. No problem that needs solving. This is a quiet place. A slow place. A place where thoughts can soften and gently fade into the background. As you rest, as your body grows heavier and more comfortable, something very important is happening, even though you cannot see it. The earth is protecting you. Right now, wherever you are listening from, a darkened room, a quiet bed, a familiar space, the planet beneath you is awake in its own quiet way. Not awake like a person, but active, steady, and constant. It has been this way for billions of years. Long before houses were built. Long before cities glowed at night. Long before anyone ever closed their eyes to sleep. The earth learned how to protect life. And tonight, as you rest, it is still doing that job, silently. You don't need to think about how. You don't need to understand every detail. All you need to know is this simple truth. You are safe. Outside your room, the night has settled in. The air has cooled. Sounds have softened. The world has slowed its pace. Even busy places feel calmer after dark, as if the planet itself is encouraging everything to rest. And above you, far above, space stretches out in every direction. Vast. Quiet. Endless. Space can feel mysterious. Sometimes even intimidating. But between you and the cold emptiness of space lies something remarkable. Something invisible. Something gentle, yet incredibly strong. An invisible shield. This shield does not hum loudly. It does not flash or glow brightly. It does not ask for attention. It simply exists, doing its work without interruption. As you lie still, your body supported by the ground, gravity is holding you close. The earth's pull is gentle but constant, keeping you anchored, keeping everything where it belongs. Feel that weight for a moment. The way your body presses into the surface beneath you. The way the ground supports you without effort. That same planet beneath you stretches far beyond what you can imagine. Downward, into layers of rock and heat and slow movement. Upward, into the sky, the atmosphere, and far beyond. And wrapped around all of it is protection. Tonight, we will not rush. We will not overwhelm your mind. We will move slowly, like drifting clouds, like the slow rotation of the earth itself. This is a story about protection you never notice. A story about forces that work quietly while you sleep. A story about how the earth has learned to care for life. You may already feel your breathing slowing. That is good. Let it happen naturally. In and out. Every breath you take is made possible by the planet around you. The air that fills your lungs has been held close by Earth's gravity, balanced carefully so it does not drift away into space. The temperature of the night, cool or warm, is carefully moderated by layers of air surrounding the planet like a soft blanket. Not too hot, not too cold. Just enough to let life rest comfortably. The Earth is very good at balance. As humans, we often think of protection as something active: walls, shields, alarms, movement. But the Earth protects in a quieter way. A patient way. A way that does not disturb sleep. Imagine the planet from far away. A small blue and white sphere floating in the darkness. Clouds drifting slowly across its surface. Oceans reflecting faint light. From that distance, there are no borders. No noise. No urgency. Just a calm, rotating world, wrapped in layers you cannot see from the ground. Layers that block harmful radiation. Layers that burn away incoming debris. Layers that guide invisible energy safely around the planet instead of through it. All of this happens whether you are awake or asleep. Especially when you are asleep. Night is when the mind lets go. When awareness softens. When the world feels quieter. And it is during this quiet that the Earth's protection feels most gentle, like being tucked in without waking up. You may notice your thoughts wandering. That is perfectly okay. If your mind drifts, let it drift. Like floating slowly on calm water. There is no direction you need to steer. As you listen, imagine the Earth beneath you as something alive in its own slow, geological way. Not alive like an animal, but active, dynamic, constantly moving at speeds far too slow for us to notice. Deep below your feet, immense forces churn patiently. High above your head, invisible fields stretch outward into space. Around you, air moves softly, carrying heat, sound, and breath. All of this forms a system of care. You are inside that system now. Every night, billions of people fall asleep under this same protection. Different rooms. Different beds. Different lives. Yet all resting on the same planet, wrapped in the same invisible embrace. And none of them need to do anything to earn it. The Earth does not ask questions. It does not judge. It does not require effort. It simply continues. As your body grows heavier, as muscles relax and eyelids soften, remember this. Even if your mind goes quiet, even if your awareness fades, the Earth does not stop watching over life. It has been doing this for so long that it feels effortless. You are allowed to rest. In the sections that follow, we will slowly explore how this protection works, not in a sharp or technical way, but in a calm, story-like way. We will drift from the surface of the Earth into the sky, then deeper into the planet itself, always moving slowly, always returning to safety. But for now, there is nothing to learn. Nothing to remember. Nothing to hold on to. Just the feeling of being supported. Take another gentle breath in. And let it out. The night is calm. The planet is steady. and you are safely inside Earth's invisible shield. Section 2. The sleeping planet, Earth at night from above. Take another slow breath in, and let it go. If your eyes are closed, that's perfect. If they're open, let them soften. Now, in your imagination, begin to drift upward, very slowly. Not quickly. Not all at once. As if you are rising on a quiet current of air. Below you, the surface of the earth stretches out familiar and distant at the same time. Land, water, mountains, plains, all becoming quieter as you move gently higher. The details begin to blur. Sharp edges soften. Movement slows. Night has settled across much of the planet now. From above, Earth looks different at night. Calmer. More peaceful. The loud colors of daytime fade away, replaced by deep blues, soft blacks, and gentle glows. City lights appear like small constellations scattered across the surface, warm, steady, and quiet. Each light represents people resting. Homes filled with stillness. Rooms like yours. Some lights flicker faintly. Others glow steadily. All of them tiny, fragile, and protected. As you continue to drift upward, the sounds of the surface fade. There is no traffic here. No voices. No sudden noise. Only silence. Clouds move slowly beneath you, their shapes stretching and dissolving in the darkness. They drift without urgency, carried by winds that circle the planet patiently. Above the clouds, the atmosphere thins. Air becomes lighter. Movement becomes even slower. The earth rotates beneath you, but so gently that it feels almost still. One full turn takes an entire day, a reminder that the planet itself never rushes. From this distance, you can see the curve of the earth clearly now. A smooth arc against the dark background of space. The horizon glows faintly with a thin, delicate line of light, the atmosphere catching the sun far away. That thin glow is important. It may look fragile, but it is strong. It is part of the reason life can exist here at all. As you float higher, the earth becomes a whole rather than a collection of places. There are no countries, no borders, no divisions. Just one planet, one home, one quiet sphere turning in the dark. Space surrounds it completely. Space is vast, cold, mostly empty. Yet the earth does not feel lost in it. It feels held, wrapped, protected. From this perspective, you can sense something invisible extending far beyond the atmosphere, something you cannot see, but that you can imagine. A gentle boundary. A protective reach. This is where the Earth's invisible shield begins to make itself known, not as a visible wall, but as a quiet presence. Imagine invisible lines flowing outward from the planet, arching gracefully through space before curving back again. They do not flicker or shake. They move smoothly, steadily, like slow waves. These invisible structures are always there, They do not sleep. They do not pause. They do not weaken at night. As you float here, above the sleeping world, notice how calm everything feels. There is no struggle. No urgency. Just balance. The earth is very good at balance. Light and dark. Warm and cool. Stillness and motion. Even now, as the planet turns, dawn is approaching somewhere. Morning light will slowly spill across land and sea. But for you, for this moment, night remains. And night is safe. From high above, you might notice faint shimmering near the poles, soft curtains of light dancing slowly. These are the auroras, quiet reminders of invisible forces at work. They are beautiful. But they are also signs of protection. Energy from the sun reaches Earth constantly, traveling across millions of kilometers of space. Most of it is harmless. Some of it is not. But the Earth knows how to handle it. Rather than letting that energy strike the surface directly, the planet gently guides it away, redirecting it, softening it, turning potential harm into light in the sky. Even this happens silently. No alarms. No warnings. No disruption to sleep. As you continue to float, imagine the earth wrapped in layers like a series of soft, protective shells. Each one playing its role. The surface where life moves and rests. The atmosphere that cushions and filters. The invisible shield that reaches far beyond. All of it working together. All of it steady. From here, you can see how small the Earth is compared to the universe, and yet how perfectly suited it is for life. Not by accident, but by balance. A balance maintained every moment. As you drift even farther, the Earth becomes smaller in your view, but it does not feel distant. It still feels connected, as if a gentle thread ties you to it. That connection is real. Gravity keeps you close. The atmosphere keeps air in place. The invisible shield keeps danger at a distance. You are never truly separate from the planet. Even when you sleep. Even when you dream. Even when you forget about the world entirely. The Earth continues its slow rotation, carrying oceans, continents, and clouds through space like a cradle. There is something deeply comforting about that motion. A reminder that things can move without chaos. That time can pass without urgency. As you rest, the planet moves for you. It shields you from harsh radiation. It softens the impact of space debris. It maintains temperatures that allow your body to rest comfortably. All without asking for attention. If your thoughts begin to fade now, that's a good sign. You are doing exactly what you are meant to do. Rest. Let the image of the Earth slowly dissolve. Let the details blur. Let the darkness feel warm rather than empty. In the next section, we will gently return closer to the planet, to the air that surrounds you right now, and explore how the atmosphere acts like a soft blanket, keeping life safe and calm. But for now, float, breathe, and rest, knowing the planet beneath you is steady, balanced, and quietly protecting you while you sleep. Section 3. The first shield, Earth's atmosphere as a soft blanket. Take a slow breath in, and let it drift out naturally. If your body feels heavy now, that's good. If your thoughts feel distant, that's even better. Let your attention settle gently on the air around you. You don't usually notice it. You don't need to. But right now, air is everywhere, touching your skin, filling your lungs, surrounding your room, stretching far beyond the walls and ceiling, all the way up into the sky. The atmosphere is Earth's first and closest shield. It is not solid. It does not press down harshly. It rests around the planet like a soft, invisible blanket. Layer upon layer, held gently in place by gravity. Imagine wrapping yourself in a blanket at night. Not too tight. Not heavy. Just enough to make you feel safe and comfortable. The atmosphere works in much the same way. It keeps warmth close. It softens extremes. It filters what comes from above. As you lie still, breathing slowly, remember this: every breath you take is part of the atmosphere's quiet work. Oxygen drifting into your lungs. Carbon dioxide drifting back out. A calm exchange that has been happening for as long as life has existed here. The atmosphere is patient. It moves slowly, carried by winds that circle the planet in wide, looping paths. These winds are rarely in a hurry. Even storms, when seen from far above, follow patterns spiraling, unfolding, and eventually fading away. Most nights, like this one, the atmosphere is calm. It holds the temperature steady, preventing the Earth from becoming too hot during the day or too cold at night. Without it, heat would escape quickly into space, and nights would be bitterly cold. But instead, the air keeps warmth close, like a memory that lingers just long enough. As you rest, notice how your room feels. Not freezing. Not scorching. Just right. That balance is not accidental. High above you, the atmosphere stretches upward in layers, each one thinner than the last. The air becomes lighter as it rises, fading gradually rather than ending suddenly. There is no sharp boundary where air simply stops. It slowly becomes less and less, until it blends into space. This gentle fading is part of what makes the atmosphere such a good shield. It gives incoming objects time to slow down, to heat up, to burn away. Small fragments of rock drift toward Earth every day. Tiny pieces of dust. Grains of stone left over from the formation of the solar system. Most of them never reach the ground. They meet the atmosphere first. As they rush in from space, they collide with air molecules. That friction creates heat, light, motion, and then nothing. They fade away. What could have been dangerous becomes a brief streak of light in the sky, a shooting star, seen by someone making a wish, or missed entirely by a sleeping world. The atmosphere quietly takes care of it. As you breathe in again and out, feel how effortless this protection is. The air also filters sunlight. It softens harsh radiation, scattering it so that it reaches the surface gently. Enough light to warm the planet. Enough energy to grow plants. Not so much that life is overwhelmed. Day after day, night after night, the atmosphere absorbs sound too. It carries whispers, footsteps, distant traffic, but it also softens them. At night, when activity slows, the air seems to quiet everything even more. Sounds travel differently in the dark. More slowly. More gently. It feels as though the world itself is asking for rest. Imagine the atmosphere from far away, a thin blue haze hugging the Earth's curve. Fragile in appearance, yet incredibly resilient. It has survived asteroid impacts, volcanic eruptions, ice ages, solar storms. It changes, but it remains. As you lie there, supported by the ground, the air presses gently against your body from all sides. You don't feel it because it presses evenly. There is no struggle, no imbalance. This gentle pressure helps keep liquids liquid, helps keep your body functioning comfortably, helps maintain the delicate conditions life needs. The atmosphere is not dramatic. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't demand attention. It simply stays. You may notice now that your breathing has slowed further. Perhaps there are longer pauses between breaths. That is your body settling into rest, trusting the environment around it, trusting the planet. As the atmosphere wraps around Earth, it moves with the planet, rotating along with it. Nothing is left behind. Nothing is shaken loose. This shared motion creates a sense of stability, a feeling that everything belongs exactly where it is. Even clouds drifting, changing, dissolving remain part of the system. They reflect sunlight during the day and trap warmth at night. They bring rain when needed, shade when needed. Always adjusting, always balancing. As you rest, imagine yourself surrounded by layers of calm air, each one slowing the world just a little bit more. Thoughts slow. Muscles soften. Awareness drifts. There is no edge to fall from. No sudden drop. Just gradual stillness. In the next section, we'll gently explore one of the atmosphere's quiet talents, how it turns potential danger into harmless beauty, how falling rocks become fleeting stars. But for now, breathe. Let the air do its work. Let the blanket hold. Let yourself sink deeper into rest. The Earth's first shield is already doing its job quietly, patiently while you sleep. Section 4. Falling stars and silent guardians, meteors burn away. Take a slow breath in, and let it go. Somewhere far above the air you breathe, beyond the soft blanket of the atmosphere, space continues its quiet drift. Space is not empty. Tiny fragments move through it constantly. Specks of dust, small stones, pieces of ancient rock left behind from the formation of planets, drifting endlessly in the dark. Most of them are very small, smaller than a grain of sand. Some no larger than a pebble. They travel for millions of years without direction, without purpose, simply following the path set by gravity and motion. Every now and then, one of these fragments finds its way toward Earth. It does not know where it is going. It does not mean harm. It is simply moving. As it approaches the planet, it begins to fall faster. Gravity gently pulls it closer. The Earth reaches out, not aggressively, but patiently. The fragment enters the upper edges of the atmosphere. At first, nothing seems to happen. The air here is thin, quiet, still. But as the fragment continues downward, it begins to meet more air molecules. One by one, then many at once. Each tiny collision creates heat. The faster it moves, the more heat is created. This is not a violent process. It is gradual, predictable, reliable. The fragment begins to glow. From the ground, this glow appears as a streak of light across the night sky, brief, delicate, and beautiful. A falling star. But the truth is even calmer than the image. The fragment is being gently dismantled by the air. Piece by piece. Moment by moment. Before it ever reaches the surface, it fades away completely, its energy released as light and warmth, harmlessly dispersed. The atmosphere has done its job again. This happens far more often than we realize. Every night, countless tiny fragments meet the atmosphere and quietly disappear. Most go unseen. Most are forgotten before they ever register. The Earth handles them all the same way, without panic, without urgency. Just quiet protection. Occasionally, a larger fragment enters the atmosphere. These are rarer. They glow brighter, travel longer across the sky. People notice them. Cameras catch them. For a moment, attention is drawn upward. Even then, the atmosphere works steadily. Air resistance slows the fragment. Heat builds. The surface begins to break apart. What remains becomes smaller, and smaller, until there is nothing left but fading light. Very rarely, a fragment is large enough to survive part of the journey and reach the ground. When that happens, it arrives much slower than it once traveled through space. Its energy has been softened, reduced, managed. This is not chance. It is design shaped by physics, refined over billions of years. The atmosphere is very good at its job. As you lie still, think about how many nights have passed without interruption. How many times you have slept peacefully while the sky above quietly took care of potential danger. You didn't hear it. You didn't feel it. You didn't need to. That is the mark of good protection when it does not disturb rest. The Earth does not need walls or alarms to stay safe. It relies on distance, layers, and gentle resistance. Soft things can be strong. Air, something you cannot see or hold, can slow objects moving faster than sound. It can transform speed into warmth, danger into light. And once the light fades, calm returns immediately. The sky does not stay bright. The night does not remain disturbed. Everything returns to stillness. As you breathe slowly now, imagine one of these tiny fragments far away in space. Cold, silent, drifting. Then imagine it meeting the atmosphere, warmth building, light appearing briefly, and then dissolving into nothing. No harm done. No trace left behind. Just another quiet success. The Earth has been doing this since long before life appeared. Long before there were eyes to watch the sky. Long before wishes were ever made on falling stars. Protection came first. Beauty followed. You may feel your thoughts becoming simpler now. Less detailed. Less sharp. That is natural. Let them blur. There is no need to hold on to images. They can pass like the fragments themselves. In the next section, we will drift deeper, not upward into the sky, but downward, beneath the surface of the Earth. We will explore the slow, hidden heart of the planet, where another form of protection begins. But for now, rest. The sky above is calm. The air is steady. And the Earth continues its quiet watch while you sleep. Section 5. The deep heart of Earth, the molten core below your feet. Take a slow breath in. And let it fall away. Now, instead of drifting upward, imagine yourself moving gently downward. Not falling. Not sinking suddenly. Just a slow, peaceful descent. Beneath the surface where you rest, beneath floors and soil and stone, the Earth continues inward. Layer after layer, deeper than anything we could ever dig. The ground beneath you feels solid and still. It feels dependable. But far below, the planet is quietly alive with motion, slow motion, measured in years and centuries rather than seconds. Begin by imagining the shallow layers beneath your feet. Soil, rock, foundations. These are familiar materials, even if you never see them directly. Below that, the crust of the Earth stretches wide and uneven, cracked into enormous plates that drift slowly across the surface. They move so slowly that we almost never notice, just a few centimeters each year. Even change, here, is patient. As you descend further in your imagination, the rock grows warmer. Pressure increases. Stone that once felt rigid begins to soften over immense spans of time. This region is called the mantle, though you don't need to remember the name. What matters is how it behaves. It does not rush. It does not churn violently. It flows, very slowly, like thick honey, moving over millions of years. Heat rises gently. Cooler material sinks. A quiet circulation that never stops. This slow movement helps shape the surface of the Earth. It raises mountains, opens oceans, guides continents across the planet like pieces on a board that no one is hurrying to finish. The Earth is comfortable with long timelines. As you continue downward, the heat increases further. Pressure becomes immense. Materials behave differently here. Things that are solid near the surface behave almost like liquids deep below. And deeper still, far beyond where any human tool could ever reach, lies the heart of the planet. The core. This is not a place of chaos. It is a place of steady energy. The outer part of the core is made mostly of liquid metal iron and nickel heated to incredible temperatures, kept molten by pressure and time. It moves slowly, swirling in vast, looping currents. This movement is not random. It follows patterns set by the rotation of the Earth itself. As the planet turns, the liquid metal within it flows, guided gently by physics, forming enormous currents that wrap around the core. These movements are powerful, but calm. There are no explosions here. No sudden shifts. Just continuous, patient motion. And from this motion comes something extraordinary. Something you cannot feel directly. Something you cannot see. But something that reaches far beyond the atmosphere. The Earth's magnetic field. It begins here deep in the planet's heart, born from the slow, steady movement of molten metal. A natural generator, turning heat and motion into invisible force. This force rises upward, passing through solid rock without resistance, emerging from the planet and stretching far into space. Even now, as you rest, this process continues. It has been continuing for billions of years. The core does not pause when you sleep. It does not weaken at night. It does not tire. It simply moves. Imagine this deep motion as a quiet heartbeat, not fast, not loud, but constant. A rhythm so slow that it feels eternal. This heartbeat powers the Earth's invisible shield. You do not need to understand every detail. You only need to feel the comfort of knowing that something deep and steady is working on your behalf. Beneath oceans. Beneath mountains. Beneath your bed. The planet's heart is active. As you lie there, supported by the surface, imagine all that depth beneath you, thousands of kilometers of rock and metal, layered and organized, holding the planet together. It is impossible to fall through it. Impossible to disturb it. The Earth is solid where it needs to be. Fluid where it needs to be. Balanced where it matters most. This balance allows the magnetic field to exist at all. And without that field, the Earth would be a very different place. But that is not something to worry about. Because the core is here. The motion continues. The shield remains. You are resting above one of the most powerful natural systems in the solar system, and yet it does not feel threatening. It feels reassuring. Like a deep engine humming quietly in the distance, never intruding, never demanding attention. As your breathing slows further, let this image settle into the background of your mind. There is no need to hold onto it clearly. Just the feeling of depth, of stability, of something ancient and reliable beneath you. In the next section, we will follow the invisible force born here upward and outward to explore how the Earth's magnetic field wraps around the planet, gently guiding energy away. But for now, rest. The ground beneath you is firm. The planet's heart is steady. And Earth's invisible shield continues its quiet work while you sleep. Section 6. The invisible shield itself, Earth's magnetic embrace. Take a slow breath in. And let it go. Now, gently imagine the deep motion you sensed beneath the Earth, the slow movement of molten metal in the planet's heart sending something upward. Not heat. Not sound. But an invisible influence. This influence passes effortlessly through solid rock. It does not push or break anything. It simply exists, moving outward from the core, spreading through the planet and beyond. This is the Earth's magnetic field. You cannot see it. You cannot hear it. You cannot feel it directly. And yet, it surrounds you completely. Imagine delicate, invisible lines flowing out from the Earth, curving gracefully through space, looping back around to the other side of the planet. They move slowly, smoothly, like streams of water guided by gentle currents. These lines form a vast, protective shape around the Earth, larger than the atmosphere, larger than the clouds, stretching tens of thousands of kilometers into space. This shape is called the magnetosphere, but the name is not important. What matters is what it does. The sun is constantly sending energy outward. A steady stream of charged particles flows away from it in all directions, like a solar breeze. This solar wind travels across space, touching planets as it passes. Without protection, this wind could strip away atmospheres, damage surfaces, and make life difficult or impossible. But Earth has learned how to meet this flow gently. As the solar wind approaches, it encounters the magnetic field first. Instead of striking the planet directly, the charged particles are guided around it, following the invisible curves of the field. They are redirected, slowed, diverted. Not stopped violently, just guided away. The magnetosphere stretches and flexes slightly in response, like fabric moving in a breeze. It absorbs the impact, spreads it out, and protects what lies within. Inside this magnetic embrace, the atmosphere remains intact. Air stays close. Life continues undisturbed. Even now, as you rest, this interaction is happening far above your head. You do not feel it. You do not hear it. Your sleep is not disturbed. This is protection at its quietest. Imagine the Earth wrapped in a soft, invisible bubble. Not rigid. Not fragile. Just present. A boundary that knows when to give and when to hold. This bubble is not perfect and it doesn't need to be. It allows some energy through, guiding it gently toward the poles, where it becomes light rather than harm. This is why auroras appear soft curtains of color dancing slowly in polar skies. They are the visible traces of invisible protection at work. The magnetosphere does not block everything. It manages what comes through. Balance, once again. As you breathe slowly now, imagine yourself resting deep inside this magnetic cocoon. So far from its edges that nothing can reach you directly. Above the clouds. Above the atmosphere. Far beyond sight. The shield stands. It has stood through solar storms stronger than anything seen in human history. It has bent and flexed, but it has not broken. It has protected oceans, forests, animals, people, and it continues to do so tonight. The magnetic field is strongest near the planet and weaker farther away, fading gradually rather than ending suddenly. There is no sharp border. Just a gentle transition from protection to space. This gradual fading is important. It prevents sudden shocks. It smooths interactions. It keeps everything calm. The Earth seems to prefer calm. As you lie there, supported and still, you are part of this system, not separate from it. Your body exists within the planet's fields, within its gravity, within its atmosphere. You belong here. Even your heartbeat carries a faint electrical rhythm, quietly resonating with the invisible forces around you. Life itself depends on these gentle energies. You don't need to think about them. They don't demand attention. They simply work. You may notice now that your mind is drifting more easily. Thoughts come and go without effort. That is the rhythm of rest. Let the idea of the magnetic shield soften into a feeling rather than an image. A sense of being held. Of being surrounded by something steady and reliable. In the next section, we will gently explore the sun itself not as something harsh or dangerous, but as a distant source of energy whose strongest outbursts are softened long before they ever reach the ground. But for now, rest. The shield is in place. The planet is steady. And you are safely inside Earth's invisible embrace while you sleep. Section 7. The sun's storms and Earth's calm defense. Take a slow breath in. And let it go. Now, let your imagination drift outward again, not quickly, not far, just enough to sense the sun, resting quietly at the center of our solar system. The sun is very far away. So far that its light takes minutes to reach the Earth. So far that even its strongest activity arrives softened by distance and time. From here, from the quiet place where you rest, the sun does not feel harsh or overwhelming. It feels steady, reliable. A distant presence that marks days and seasons. Most of the time, the sun shines calmly, sending out warmth and light in a smooth, even flow. This steady energy supports life, warming oceans, growing plants, setting the rhythm of sleep and waking. But sometimes, the sun releases more energy than usual. These moments are called solar storms. The word storm might sound dramatic, but in space, these events unfold slowly and silently. There is no thunder, no sudden noise. Just waves of charged particles moving outward through the vast quiet. These particles travel for days before reaching Earth. And when they do, they are met gently by the planet's magnetic shield. The magnetosphere senses their arrival long before anything reaches the atmosphere. It stretches slightly, adjusts its shape, and guides the incoming energy around the planet rather than through it. Nothing crashes. Nothing breaks. The energy flows, curves, and moves on. Some of it is guided toward the poles, where it slips along invisible magnetic paths and meets the upper atmosphere. There, it becomes light soft greens, blues, and reds shimmering slowly in the sky. Auroras. They do not roar. They do not flash suddenly. They drift. Slow, graceful movements that feel almost like the sky itself is breathing. Most people never see them. And even for those who do, they are gentle, silent, and calming. This is what Earth does with the sun's strongest energy. It turns it into beauty. As you rest, imagine that interaction happening far above you. So far away that it cannot disturb your sleep. So far removed that your body remains completely at ease. The magnetic field absorbs and redirects what needs to be handled. The atmosphere cushions what comes closer. By the time anything reaches the surface, it has been softened beyond harm. Layers working together. Distance doing its job. Time slowing everything down. Even during the strongest solar storms recorded by scientists, life on Earth continued. Oceans remained calm. Forests grew. People slept through the night without knowing anything unusual had occurred. That is how well the system works. Protection does not need to be loud. It does not need to announce itself. It simply needs to be dependable. As your breathing continues to slow, let the idea of solar storms drift into the background. They are distant, managed, under control. The Earth has faced far stronger forces in its long history. Asteroid impacts, volcanic eruptions, ice ages. And through it all, the planet adapted, adjusted, and continued. The magnetic shield flexed when it needed to. The atmosphere shifted when it needed to. Balance was restored again and again. You are living on a planet that has learned how to survive. That knowledge is built into its structure. You don't need to worry about the sun tonight. You don't need to watch the sky. You don't need to stay alert. The planet is already doing that for you. As your awareness softens, let the image of the sun become gentle and distant, a warm glow rather than a blazing star. Let the idea of storms dissolve into slow-moving light far away. Here, on the surface, everything is calm. The night air is steady. The ground is still. The shield holds. In the next section, we will reflect on why this protection matters so much, how it allows life to exist, to rest, to sleep peacefully on this small planet in a vast universe. But for now, rest. The sun is distant. The earth is ready. And nothing needs your attention as you sleep. Section 8. Why life can sleep here, protection and fragility. Take a slow breath in. And let it go. Now, let everything you've imagined so far begin to settle. The atmosphere. The falling stars. The deep, moving heart of the planet. The invisible magnetic shield. All of it working together. Not loudly. Not urgently. Just, consistently. Life on Earth exists inside a delicate balance. And yet, that balance has endured for an incredibly long time. Long enough for oceans to form. Long enough for forests to grow. Long enough for creatures to learn how to rest, dream, and sleep. When we think about space, it can feel vast and empty, a place where life is rare and fragile. And in many ways, that is true. But here, on Earth, fragility is supported. The planet does not eliminate danger entirely. It manages it. Radiation from space is softened before it reaches the ground. Extreme temperatures are moderated. The atmosphere stays close instead of drifting away. Because of this, life does not need armor. Animals do not need shields. Plants do not need protection from the sky. They simply exist, and rest when the day is done. Imagine how different things would feel without this protection. Nights would be harsh. Temperatures would swing wildly. The surface would be exposed to energy that life is not meant to absorb directly. But that is not the world you live in. Instead, you live on a planet that allows softness. That allows sleep. Every night, countless living things grow still. Birds tuck their heads beneath their wings. Animals curl into safe shapes. Leaves stop moving. Even the oceans quiet slightly, their waves becoming slower and more rhythmic. Sleep is possible here because the environment allows it. Because nothing needs constant vigilance. You can close your eyes without fear of the sky. You can relax your muscles without bracing against the cold. You can let your awareness fade, knowing that the systems around you continue to work. This is not something you need to earn. It is simply where you are. The Earth is sometimes described as fragile, but that fragility is paired with resilience. The planet bends rather than breaks. It absorbs, redirects, and recovers. And life, in turn, has learned to trust it. That trust is built into your body. When you feel tired, your body knows it is safe to sleep. When darkness falls, hormones shift gently, encouraging rest. This rhythm is ancient, shaped by countless nights spent under the same protective sky. Your sleep tonight is part of a long tradition. Billions of nights. Billions of sleepers. All resting on the same planet. As you lie still now, you are part of that quiet pattern. Nothing extraordinary needs to happen. Just rest. The universe outside the earth may be harsh and empty, but inside this thin envelope of protection, life has found a way to be gentle. To pause. To breathe. To dream. In the final section, we will allow everything to soften completely, letting images fade, explanations dissolve, and awareness drift naturally towards sleep. But for now, feel the calm of belonging here. The earth holds its atmosphere. The magnetic shield stands quietly. And life, including you, is allowed to rest. Section 9. Drifting away, resting inside Earth's shield. Take a slow breath in. And let it go. There is nothing left to understand now. Nothing left to picture clearly. Nothing left to hold. The ideas you've heard can soften, blur, and gently dissolve. The atmosphere no longer needs a shape. The magnetic shield no longer needs lines or curves. The earth itself no longer needs an image. Only the feeling remains. A feeling of being held. As you rest, the planet continues its slow turning, not in a way that disturbs you, but in a way that rocks everything gently forward in time. Like a cradle moving so slowly that motion feels like stillness. The night is deep now. Thoughts arrive less often. When they do, they pass more easily. There is no need to follow them. Your body knows how to sleep. Muscles loosen without effort. Breathing finds its own rhythm. Awareness drifts in and out, like waves touching the shore and retreating again. You do not need to stay alert. Far above, the Earth's invisible shield remains exactly where it has always been, stretched wide, calm, and dependable. It does not weaken. It does not wander. It does not forget. It stays. Below you, the ground is firm and unmoving. Beneath that, deep inside the planet, slow motion continues, quiet currents turning endlessly, powering the protection you never have to think about. Nothing is asked of you in return. Sleep is not something you have to achieve. It is something you allow. If images still come, let them be soft. If words repeat, let them fade. If silence appears, welcome it. You are surrounded by systems older than memory, stronger than fear, quieter than thought. The air holds warmth. The sky filters light. The shield guides energy away. And you rest. If sleep comes now, let it come. If it takes a little longer, that is fine too. There is no hurry anywhere on the planet tonight. The earth turns slowly. The night passes gently. And protection continues without pause. You are safe to drift. Safe to let go. Safe to sleep.